The tale starts in a future London, 2032, where the city faces a severe crisis due to dwindling supplies after chaotic unrest in migrant camps. Here we meet Peter, our main character, a caring chaplain. His journey kicks off in a hospital where he visits his dying wife, Bea. In a heartfelt moment, Peter expresses a wish to join her in passing, but Bea believes God has bigger plans for him. He spends her final moments reading from the Bible, offering solace until her peaceful departure. As the story progresses, the harsh reality of London's situation becomes more evident. True to his calling, Peter devotes himself to the church, offering aid and sustenance to the needy while connecting with children there. Amid this, Vivian, head of mission resources at Yusk, a company aiming to settle other planets for the wealthy, approaches Peter with a proposition. At first, Peter hesitates to consider her offer since both he and his late wife opposed such ventures. However, things get more complicated when Vivian discloses that David, co-founder of US6 and an acquaintance of Peter, personally sent her. She notifies Peter about an unexpected summons from David, indicating his urgent requirement to be present on Oasis, a newly discovered planet resembling a desert. David envisions Oasis as a place free from the falsehoods of faith, making his plea for Peter, a devout chaplain, all the more puzzling. Vivian further adds to the mystery by presenting Peter with a message from David, acknowledging the necessity of spiritual guidance on Oasis and nominating Peter for this role. Caught between his convictions and the tempting offer, Peter's thoughts race as Vivian pledges substantial funding for his church, viewing it as a way to support his community. Reluctantly, he agrees to join the project. In preparation for the journey, Peter visits USC headquarters, undergoing a battery of tests to ensure his suitability for space travel. There, he encounters the crew, among them a botanist named Sai, who expresses unease about the mission. Peter, unwavering in his faith, reassures Sai of divine protection and the safety of their voyage. The episode unfolds with the crew entering a medically induced coma, commencing a lengthy interstellar journey marked by space jumps. These events set the stage for the adventures and obstacles that lie ahead on Oasis. As the story unfolds, the crew encounters a turbulent landing on the planet Oasis, immediately caught in a ferocious sandstorm that highlights the hostile and unforgiving nature of their new surroundings. Struggling to adapt, many crew members battle disorientation and nausea. Amid this turmoil, our main character, Peter, seeks his bearings. Sarah, head of security at the Oasis base, approaches Peter, visibly puzzled by his presence. The base had anticipated the arrival of an engineer, not a chaplain. Sarah finds Peter's appearance on this distant, desolate planet perplexing, questioning the necessity of spiritual guidance in such a survival-focused setting. Intrigued and somewhat suspicious, she reports Peter's unexpected arrival to Vikram, the chief executive of Oasis. While Peter adjusts to the unfamiliar terrain, he becomes aware of a crucial issue plaguing the colony: a shortage of water. Paul, a worker at Oasis, discloses that water drilling has halted despite the planet seemingly possessing an abundance of this essential resource. The revelations in this storyline hint at deeper mysteries and potential conflicts brewing within the colony on Oasis. As Peter adjusts to life on the alien planet, his unique showering experience with blue foam symbolizes the otherworldly nature of their new environment. Meanwhile, Sarah delves into Peter's belongings, uncovering his identity as a priest. This discovery deepens her skepticism about his purpose on Oasis. The crew undergoes a medical procedure facilitated by Dr. Judy to aid their adaptation to the unfamiliar environment. Shots are administered, including a GPS tracker, with a warning about potential hallucinations induced by the alien civilization, which is seemingly using their minds to expel them from the planet. During a dinner gathering, Vikram officially welcomes the crew, outlining their mission to establish the first permanent colony on Oasis. Peter's introduction to the group provides him with an opportunity to reignite faith among the workers, who seem to have drifted away from their beliefs. Recognizing his potential influence, Vikram assigns Peter to the media room, allowing him to offer guidance and support to the workers as needed. The storyline takes a mysterious turn when BG, another member of the colony, shows Peter to his quarters. Peter's inquiry about David's whereabouts leads to a shocking revelation. David is missing, last seen exploring the unknown terrains of Oasis. This cliffhanger intensifies the suspense, leaving Peter to grapple with his unexpected role in this alien world and the perplexing disappearance of David. As night falls, the narrative shifts to a more personal perspective. Sarah, the head of security, reaches out across the vastness of space to her daughter Frida, who remains back on Earth. As Peter grapples with the enigmatic biblical message received from an unidentified sender quoting Matthew 10:27, he finds himself baffled by its cryptic nature and unknown source. Unable to decipher its meaning, he experiences a restless night, troubled by the mysterious transmission. With the dawn breaking and the sandstorm subsiding, Peter seizes the chance to explore the unfamiliar terrain of Oasis. During his expedition, he encounters Alicia, a fellow colonist, who paints a bleak picture of their predicament. Alicia reveals the planet's constant surveillance by an unknown entity, casting uncertainty on the possibility of returning to Earth. She emphasizes that their chances hinge on surviving the next 2 years in this precarious environment. Peter's inquiry about David's whereabouts prompts Alicia to question him about what David might have divulged regarding the planet. However, their conversation is abruptly interrupted by BG, who informs Peter of Vikram, the chief executive's summons to his office. As Peter navigates these mysterious encounters and revelations on Oasis, the planet's mysteries deepen, adding layers of suspense and uncertainty to their survival and the true nature of their existence in this alien world. Peter finds himself witnessing a disconcerting scene within the Earth Room, a woman dancing wildly, seeking solace in the simulated environment of Earth as an escape from Oasis's harsh reality. Concurrently, he notices 2 men searching David's room, where the same cryptic biblical quote from Matthew 10:27 is scrawled on the wall. The presence of the quote deepens the enigma surrounding David's intentions and mental state. Meanwhile, in Vikram's office, the focus of discussion revolves around David. Vikram expresses concern over David's prolonged absence, especially in the aftermath of the recent sandstorm. He confides in Peter about David's tendency for solitary explorations and erratic behavior, potentially jeopardizing the mission. Doubts about David's survival and the repercussions of his solitary ventures weigh heavily on Vikram. Simultaneously, Sarah ventures on a run across Oasis's barren landscape, only to be haunted by auditory hallucinations, a semblance of her daughter's voice. Pursuing these haunting sounds leads Sarah to an unexpected and shocking discovery. Amidst the stark landscape of Oasis, Sarah stumbles upon David's abandoned vehicle, accompanied by his discarded backpack and ominous traces of blood on the windshield. The absence of David's GPS tracker indicates a deliberate and desperate act, hinting at potential danger or distress. Sarah swiftly reports her alarming findings to Vikram, conveying the urgency of the situation and raising profound questions about David's fate and the true perils lurking on Oasis. The narrative takes a deeper dive into the psychological effects of the alien environment on the crew. As Peter settles into his role, organizing the media room designated for personal communication and introspection, a fellow colonist named Paul seeks him out for a heartfelt conversation. Paul confides in Peter, sharing a haunting tale from his past laden with guilt and sorrow. He recounts the tragic story of his beloved racehorse, which he had once drugged in an ill-fated attempt to enhance its performance. The horse, unable to endure the strain, suffered immensely and ultimately collapsed. In a moment of agonizing decision-making, Paul ended the horse's suffering with a gunshot. This haunting memory resurfaces on Oasis, haunting Paul as he claims to witness visions of his deceased horse. Paul hints at the crew's tendency to experience hallucinations, often relating to deeply personal matters, implying the dangers they pose. He cryptically refers to the loss of 3 men due to such delusions, avoiding further explanation, mindful of the constant surveillance cameras. Meanwhile, Sarah and Vikram investigate David's possessions, discovering a cache of antibiotics and biblical images. Despite Sarah's curiosity, Vikram, eager to maintain mission focus, orders the resumption of water drilling, a project David had previously halted. When Sarah seeks answers about David's actions, Vikram sternly warns her against challenging his authority. In a surprising encounter, Peter visits Sarah's office, leading to a discussion about his transition from a criminal past to a life devoted to priesthood. Sarah's revelations about his history prompt Peter to credit his transformation to the influence of his wife. As the story progresses, the crew's mental strain escalates. BG finds solace in medication from Judy, the doctor, to alleviate visions of his deceased father. In contrast, SA proudly showcases his innovative water conservation system to Alicia, showcasing a moment of creativity amid the crew's turmoil. The narrative culminates when Paul, operating the drilling machine, is once again haunted by the apparition of his horse. In a tragic turn of events, Paul sustains a severe, life-threatening injury while dangerously near the drill. As the crew gathers around the gravely wounded Paul, in his final moments, he confides in Peter about a vision he experienced earlier. Acknowledging his role as a spiritual guide, Peter offers prayers for Paul's soul as he peacefully passes away. This heart-wrenching incident poignantly highlights the mental and emotional challenges faced by the crew on Oasis, setting a somber tone for the story ahead. Meanwhile, the plot thickens as Alicia leads Peter to her room, revealing a significant discovery. She shares a secret transmission from David, which she had kept hidden until this moment, testing Peter's trustworthiness. In the transmission, a distorted voice utters the name Jesus Christ, followed by David's urgent plea for Peter to find him. This cryptic message deepens the mystery surrounding David's intentions and whereabouts, leaving Peter and the crew grappling with more unanswered questions. In the aftermath of Paul's tragic accident, an atmosphere of disbelief and fear pervades among the crew members. Some speculate that the planet itself might be influencing individuals to contemplate suicide. BG openly confronts Vikram, expressing the crew's shared anxiety regarding the hallucinations they've experienced. They challenge the notion that they belong on this alien planet. In a surprising moment of candor, Judy reveals that the explanation about atmospheric pressure affecting their eyes, a tale originally concocted by David, is false. This revelation shakes the base, prompting Vikram to urgently dismiss everyone to their rooms. Amidst the chaos, Peter seeks answers and explores David's room, discovering a hidden message visible only in darkness, a set of coordinates left behind by David. This clue propels Peter deeper into the mystery. As he prepares to depart in a vehicle to follow the coordinates, Sarah intercepts him, sharing her haunting experiences of seeing visions of her daughter on Oasis. Her warning emphasizes the peril of Peter's mission. Meanwhile, Vikram transmits a distressing message to USIC headquarters on Earth, reporting David's disappearance and presumed death, potentially marking him as the 5th casualty in their mission. He declares their camp besieged by unknown forces, escalating the situation to high alert. The story reaches a dramatic and unsettling climax when Peter follows the coordinates to a cave. There, he encounters a group of robed figures with concealed faces, creating a tense and surreal atmosphere. As Peter grapples with disbelief at the sight before him, one of the figures reveals her face. It's none other than Peter's late wife. This haunting revelation leaves Peter in a state of shock and anticipation, setting the stage for the unfolding mysteries of Oasis.